What's going on, everyone? MikeO back with another Mailday recap. This is going to be a bunch of slabs. It's going to be all vintage. It's all baseball. It's awesome stuff. It's fun stuff. Had a absolute thrill picking these cards up. These are actually all things that I picked up a while ago. Picked them up with eBay bucks. And just happy to add some more vintage to the collection. Some slabbed vintage to the collection. And had a great time in Cooperstown. Went about a month or so ago with my dad, and it was a blast. I've been meaning to talk about it on a video for a while, and hey, if you have a chance to go to Cooperstown, absolutely do it. If you consider yourself a baseball fan and you haven't been to Cooperstown, make sure you change that. It's just a great small town. You're just all around baseball. You have ton of card shops there. You have a lot of memorabilia to see or buy, whichever you're interested in. The museum itself is awesome. It's just an absolute blast. Definitely a great trip to do. Ton of fun. I've been there a few times, and I certainly look forward to going back there, hopefully every couple years or so. So let's get into the pickups now. This first one is the only Bowman card. It's a 1954 Bowman Richie Ashburn, PSA Excellent 5. Beautiful card, looks really nice, has incredible color. Richie Ashburn's a Hall of Famer, played with the Phils for quite a while. Concluded his career with the Cubs and Mets, but the majority of his career was in Philadelphia. Great hitter, and was a longtime broadcaster with the Phillies as well. Partner for Harry Kalas for a few decades, and just a great card to collect if you're a Phillies fan, or if you're just a baseball fan and you like to collect Hall of Famers. It's definitely awesome. So thrilled to pick up that Richie Ashburn there. A few other Phillies I picked up as well, but got some non-Phillies, of course. This I honestly just picked up because it was dirt cheap. It's a 1952 Topps Jim Constanti. VG Plus 3.5. Looks great. To me, with vintage cards, and this is just my personal preference, I care way more about the centering than sharp corners. If the corners are a little rounded, so be it. As long as it looks great, if it's got great centering, if it doesn't have scribble marks or a mustache written on the player, to me, it can look great. Great color, beautiful card, just a nice little addition to the Phillies collection. Here's another 52 Topps, one I actually already have a few of. I have one in a binder that's a little beat up as part of my all-time Phillies Topps team set. And then I have another grade at one, but picked up a 5.5 Excellent Plus Richie Ashburn. Again, beautiful card. Looks awesome. Just a fabulous player. 52 Topps, obviously just a legendary set. And Richie Ashburn, a legendary all-time Philly, Baseball Hall of Famer. Fantastic card, and his stuff's weird. Sometimes it goes a little higher than you would think. Other times you can get it low. So definitely worth picking up. Someone that I'm happy to add another one of to my collection. So got a 1953 Topps coming up. Is a guy that I like to follow and check out his cards from time to time. I don't have a lot of them, but this is a 53 Topps Bob Feller, PSA 4. Again, looks great. As long as there's solid eye appeal, I think it looks awesome slabbed. I'm super picky with graded cards for modern stuff. Love the PSA 10s. But when it comes to vintage stuff, I'm perfectly happy accepting some lower grades as long as the eye appeal of the card is great. Bob Feller, awesome career. Like so many others, gave up a large portion of his career, or at least a part of his career. Bob Feller, fantastic player. Beautiful 1953 Topps card with that Indians logo there. And what else can I say? Very cool card. Happy to pick it up. Look forward to picking up more vintage in the future, of course, from time to time. Got a 54 Topps. This was a Phillies pickup just for the sake of picking up a Philly. Again, was bidding and buying at multiple cards. Once you get that combined shipping, if there's something you're interested in that's a really good price, I'll pick it up. Willie Jones in the PSA 4 was definitely very cheap. Won a cheap bid and thought, hey, how could I go wrong adding a slabbed Phillies vintage card to the collection? Really can't, so that's a nice one there. But we're going to add a Hall of Famer from that 54 Topps set, and it is Mr. Eddie Matthews. Nice card there. Old school Braves logo in the top left. Really nice. Centering is far from perfect on this, but it's good enough. It doesn't really take it away. Some of the cards with the all four borders, definitely the centering can kind of throw you off a little bit. This one's got enough other stuff going on that honestly your attention isn't necessarily immediately drawn there. So that's really awesome. Eddie Matthews, someone else that I'm always, when I'm looking at the vintage stuff, the Hall of Famers, he's relatively cheap compared to other Hall of Famers from time to time, and to me, I think it's a great buy. So really cool card there. Next up is from 1956 Topps. This is a beautiful card in a PSA 4. It's Mr. Yogi Berra. Really nice 56 Topps there. Always like the look of them with the close-up photo and then the action, artistic photograph in the background. You got the facsimile signature, which I think works for some of the vintage stuff. I'm not a big fan of the facsimile signatures on the modern cards, but that's definitely a good-looking card overall, so I was happy to pick up a Yogi Berra for the PC. Going to go with another Atlanta Brave here. Not the best centering, but still looks good overall. It's a 1957 Topps Warren Spahn, PSA 5. Excellent 5 in the Warren Spahn. Unbelievable pitcher, one of the greatest of all time. I'm a big fan of 57 Topps. I don't love the close-ups as much, but I'm a huge fan of the Ted Williams card from 57, Frank Robinson. Both cards I do need to add to the collection at some point. But Warren Spahn, just a great pitcher. And, you know, if I'm able to add a slabbed card in a solid grade that looks really good overall at a cheap price, I'm certainly going to do it. So, really nice one there. That Milwaukee Braves hat. Next up, we have a 1958 Topps, and it is Frank Robinson. Many in the community, many collectors out there say that Frank Robinson, one of the more underrated players in baseball history, at the very least, in terms of this hobby. Picked this one up, definitely cheap. Not thrilled with the centering on it. Top to bottom, definitely a little more off than I'd like, but again, grabbed it at a good price on the PSA 5, which is solid collector's grade there. You got the Red Legs logo down there, so it's kind of interesting seeing some of the old school cards with the older logos from time to time. I think that's pretty neat there. Then next up, we have another 58 Topps. This 58 Topps is not a Hall of Famer, but he was a fabulous pitcher. It's a 1958 Topps Johnny Padres, former Dodger. He was actually the first World Series MVP. Had a really good career. Not a super lengthy career, not a Hall of Fame career, but a good career. Really good in the postseason, so that's big time in my book. And also, he was the pitching coach of the 1993 Phillies, so there's a Phillies connection. I remember growing up watching the Phillies with him at the helm of the pitching staff, and he did a really good job. Helped a lot of pitchers. One I know for sure he certainly worked with and helped and was given some credit for was Curt Schilling, so that's solid there. So, like the Johnny Padres, he's another guy I always like to kind of follow some stuff for him if I can find it. So that was actually a PSA 6, so really nice one there. And it's all about, to me, picking up players and teams and cards that you really like and enjoy. I don't like to sit there and only pick up guys from a certain team or guys who qualify as Hall of Famers. I'll pick up anything that's pretty awesome, which is a lot of vintage baseball. We got a 1959 Topps Robin Roberts here, PSA 2. This card I got for like $1.50. It's the best looking PSA 2 you'll ever see in your life. To be honest with you, I'm thinking that I should break this sucker out and resend it in. You know, I haven't done super examination on it. It does have a few little print spots down here, and there's a print spot on the back as well. But overall, I mean, the card is centered well. It looks solid. There must be something wrong with it. I did not see a surface wrinkle in it, but you got that big spot in the back, which isn't ideal, but overall, centering's good. Corners are fairly solid. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. I might have missed something. I'll have to take another look at it, but for PSA 2, it looks pretty damn good. Would even be, hey, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but it looks awesome. 1960 Topps, Stan Musial. I'm a huge fan of 60 Topps. I honestly never paid a ton of attention to them years ago, but the last year or so, I've definitely noticed that I enjoy those cards. Picked up a Warren Spahn at one point, and I just think 60 tops look great. They got some nice color. You got a couple photos, just cool stuff. This is a PSA 3, the Musial. Again, while I'd prefer a higher grade, it does have great eye appeal, that solid centering overall. I think it's awesome to pick up a Stan Musial card for sure. Got another 60 tops. This one of Mr. Whitey Ford. This one's at PSA 4. Another really nice looking card. Again, dual photos. All sorts of colors going there on the nameplate. Just a cool addition to the collection. Whitey Ford, longtime Yankee. Obviously a lot of postseason history and experience. Was in the movie 61, stuff like that. When you see players depict it in movies and stuff, I always think that's cool too. It's another reason sometimes I like to pick up some cards, but really nice Whitey Ford. And we have a few more cards coming up. We got some 61 tops, which honestly is not one of my favorite sets. I do like this Duke Snider card for sure. It's a PSA 6. Again, don't love the centering on it, but overall solid looking card, PSA 6. The 61 tops were pretty cheap overall. They were not all that expensive. Got them below. I don't remember offhand what the market price is on them, but I definitely got them a little lower than that. So that looks good. Picked up another Eddie Matthews. So that one's got really nice centering. So really strong eye appeal, PSA 6. I mean, these are nice cards. It's just 61 tops is just certainly not my favorite of the different tops designs. This one's really nice here. 1961 Robin Roberts, near mint 7. Great centering. Looks great. Great color. Love the look of him there in that Phillies uniform. Obviously, it's before a game or spring training, but cool looking card. This is not my favorite of the 61 tops, but I think I got this crazy cheap. I already mentioned some stuff about Johnny Padres. I think he was a fabulous pitcher and have memories of him from when I was a kid. So I'll pick up his stuff from time to time. This one, again, PSA 5 was like less than it cost to get a card graded. So to me, it was an easy pickup. So it's a nice one there. Just a few other cards, actually 2. This is the last one that was pretty cool for the collection, I guess, was the 1970 top Steve Carlton. I actually didn't have any Steve Carlton Cardinals cards, so it was cool to pick up this PSA 6. Really cheap. Again, that's kind of been one of the themes here. Got a lot of these real cheap. If you get a big group of stuff you can bid on at once, sometimes they go extra high because people are trying to complete sets, and sometimes they just sit there and go super low. And that's definitely a great time to buy. But PSA 6, solid overall. The 70 tops Steve Carlton. Beautiful looking card. And then the final card I picked up, I honestly only picked up because I think I paid $1.25 for it. I know he was a good player in his day. Not a Hall of Fame player, but Mickey Rivers. 1972 tops. PSA 5, so a 5 for a 70 card. Not what you're looking for. You'd certainly prefer a 7. But for $1.25, how can you go wrong picking up this Mickey Rivers card? So definitely a nice addition. Really happy to pick this up and think it was a good buy. So comment down below. Let me know what you think of all these pickups. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great one.